What's going on, guys? This is a second round group stage Cup of Nations match between RTK Bobi and AC Sofado. It's PIKEtria versus Carthage. Should be an interesting battle. Let's get right into it. So, obviously Bobi is defending his Pike army claim, as he believes is a valid tactic. Let's see if he can prove that to be true. Going over the build quickly, Bobi has, well, quite a straightforward build. 5 pikes, 5 thorax, 4 peltists, 1 hillman, 1 backstream royal guards, 3 citizen cab, and 1 backstream light horse. So, utilizing the 5 same rule that PIKEtria has and 6 melee infantry, this pike thorax combo is going to be really annoying, and the 4 peltists should help his weak cav, even out the cav fight. And then he has 2 reserve units there. But if Sofado has the right tools, he can definitely shoot up those pikes, kill the thorax, and then the weak cav will be an issue because the peltists won't be able to protect them. So Sofado has also an interesting army here. He's got 3 late Libyans, or 2 late Libyans and 3 late Carthaginians. So a lot of hoplites here. I'm not really sure about that though, because the hoplites are kind of useless in this matchup. I feel like they can't really deal a lot of damage to the thorax swords. So yes, they can hold the pikes in place and not allow them, but we know Bobi's going to go for like a frontal attack with the thorax and the pikes right behind. There's the pikes, you know? So, I think the hoplites might have been better off as just as Libyan infantry. But he does have, for his infantry, only 5 melee infantry. I think he should also bring 6 here. I mean, again, just why not? But he has 2 Samnites and 3 Iberian swords. The Iberian swords will be nice at killing the slingers. He also has the pike, sorry. He also does have 3 Balearic slingers, so he definitely has the tools to kill pikes. That is not going to be a problem. It's just to making sure he can do that in an orderly fashion and not allow those 5 thorax swords to get better engagements. He has also 2 companion cavs, so again, these guys are definitely infantry killers, and they are obviously much stronger than the cav of Bobi. So between them and the 3 Carthaginian, sorry, I lost the marker. 3 Carthaginian cav, he has a huge cat advantage, a huge missile advantage. His infantry is not even that much weaker. He just has to deal with the pikes properly. Now the issue is these 4 peltists can really change things. They can get shots onto the infantry or the cav and really make a mess of things. So he has to deal with them properly, and he just needs to make sure he's dealing with this pike threat. Now, because he has such a big cav advantage, I think a good tactic here would be to just spread out, force some of these pikes to face the flank, and then you get better shots with your slingers. You also shouldn't even engage. Like, Sofado shouldn't even engage until he has used up a lot of ammo on his slingers killing these pikes. You kill, like, let's say 2 or 3 pikes with your javelin from the Iberian swords and the slingers. I mean, now these thorax swords are weak and the Samnites can just crush them, and there's not much these peltists can really do. I mean, the peltists are the only thing that would be able to even out the fight, but they have to worry about the cav fight, because the cav fight is not at all in Bobi's favor. And if these peltists are ever isolated, he has more cav than Sofado, so he can chase down the peltists and kill them. So Bobi's going to need to stay compact. I think Sofado would be best. Leave your hoplites out in the center here, tie those pikes down, but then move to the flanks and see how Bobi can react to that. Because he will have to turn in some of his pikes, because the Samnites will just absolutely maul these thorax swords. And again, the peltists are annoying, but all it takes is a little bit of cav pressure, and the peltists are forced to help in the cav fight. So let's see how Sofado tries to take this engagement. Over here, he is moving up, but yeah, Bobi decides to reform here, which should allow his slingers a lot of time here. And yeah, they are going to start focusing on a pike. Sure, that's definitely advisable. And now Bobi's going to send forward his thorax swords, and they will have a favorable engagement against these late Carthaginians, which is why I'm saying, like, if you had 2 Samnites, 2 Libyans, and 2 Iberian swords, I feel like, and then a couple more late Libyan hoplites, that would be better. Now these companions are getting a nice charge into these thorax swords, kind of knock them all entirely over, and you get into the peltists as well, which will stop them from firing, obviously. And now these Carthaginian hoplites should be able to win this fight. Over here, looks like the Libyans charge in, Samnites follow up, and these Libyans are going to retreat, hopefully, because if the Libyans retreat, right, and come to the flank here, now that the pikes move up, you can just kill the pikes from the flank. Companions got only 6 kills, but, I mean, they were very valuable in wasting this thorax sword and allowing these late Carthaginians to do quite well. The peltists are firing, I think, at the slingers. I don't know how else they would lose men, so that's kind of a waste. And these pikes are dropping very fast. You should definitely focus the new pike unit. But over here we can see Yeah, he's targeting the slingers there. These Thorax swords are destroying these late Carthaginians, but there are Iberians in support who are getting nice jab volleys here. We can zoom out here and see the whole battle. Cav pressure is being applied, and you can see these peltasts now have to move to the flank, have to worry about these guys. He does have these hillmen though, and Sofado doesn't have that much infantry on the flank, so he can't engage his cav fight yet. Now these Thorax swords just broke, and because of that companion charge, and now these hoplites are free to flank around. These Libyans are still engaged, they should probably pull back and flank around, and he can just kite honestly on the flank, and these peltasts are getting great javelin volleys on the Sand Knights here. Gonna kill them off a lot faster than they otherwise would. Now he has 2 cav here against just 1 and a general unit here. So the Carthaginian cav come in and the companions can just cycle charge here or go to the peltasts, which would probably be more ideal. This light cav tried to come in, but they were denied by the gen. But in the center, he's not getting. Oh, this is a great move from Sofado though. Gonna get a lot of javelins in here, but these Samites are just losing because of the very annoying javelins here being thrown by the peltasts and the pike thorax. Thorax swords are also dying. Samites at 80 men, so it's still pretty healthy. Over here, of course, Carthaginian cav are gonna die to the combined forces, but they are being delayed. Oh, where's that companion? He's kind of slow with his companions here right now. If we just pause for a sec, every unit is tied down. There's one Bactrian light horse, which obviously was tied to the companions. Every other unit is either like dying or being tied down. You see here, the companions just wrecked the citizen cav, and these Bactrian hillmen won't be able to kill them fast enough. They can just redraw. And over here, Carthaginians have these guys on lock. Slingers are still fine. These guys are getting nice shots. The flank is coming in. These guys can flank these pikes. Over here, you still again have 2 units here to apply your late Libyans attack here. And again, these guys will eventually win, but it's going to take them a while. And these are citizen cav, they kind of suck. So these companions, if they were closer, could just come in here and wreck everything. Got a rear charge, cycle charge, and I think that would have been definitely the best course of action. But they're so far away from the fight that by the time they get back into the battle, the situation may have changed drastically. However, I think Sofado is doing a good job. Keep your slingers alive, just tying down these guys. Although, again, he is going to have a favorable engagement here. He's going to kill off these companion cav, who are trying to do damage here. He should just charge in the back of these hillmen and probably break them. And he's winning this flank decisively. I don't know what he's doing with his gen though. That was a big mistake. And it might cost him some Valeric slingers here. Actually, well, no, it definitely will cost him. He needs these guys for the late game, so this is not good. They're only Bactrian light horse. He's forced to just pull away. They get only 15 kills here, so it's not disastrous, but it's bad. And the infantry fight is very close. These early Carthaginians and Iberians are losing, but he just pulled them out to cycle around. And see, this is what I'm saying. Now the companions are here, but the situation has changed. Now there are free cav everywhere. There isn't a lot of cav left on the field for Sofado. Just this one companion. It is full strength and fresh, but it needs to get in and do the damage fast, ASAP. Now these cav are getting sniped down. This is definitely helpful, but the infantry is no longer in the favor of Sofado. He needed to have his companions affect the infantry fight faster. Over here, these Bactrian hillmen are doing so well, killing off 30 cavalrymen in situations that they were otherwise not going to be doing very well in. And also, here the general got a little bit sidetracked chasing, but this cav is definitely more of a threat than the Bactrian light horse in defending your Balearic slingers. He will send some cav in support, and these companions got a sick-ass charge here. Gonna do a shit ton of damage here to these Bactrian hillmen, probably will rout them down. Now, the cavalry engagement went surprisingly much in Sofado's favor, in Bobi's favor. Now this is looking like it's going to be easy for Bobi to clean up, because I don't really know how the cav fight got so bad for Sofado. Like, he just needed to wait and then send some guys around the flank, like some late Libyans around the flank, because when the pikes and thorax swords were fighting here, Bobi had the Royal Guard and the Hillmen in reserve to help the cav fight. Now, if Sofado just took out his late Libyans and went around the flank with them, it would tie down the infantry, and his cavalry was so much better. But he wasn't able to do so, and it cost him badly. Now the infantry should be unstoppable here for Bobi. There's this one companion is a big deal, and these slingers are going to come back, but there's still quite a bit of cav and all these infantry. This companion, you're going to have to see it do massive damage. Over here, this late Carthaginian will clean up house against some pretty depleted hillmen and cav here. But again, I don't know why he wouldn't help here. He needs to help. And he's probably forgotten about this light cav, which Bobi is clearly microed quite well. He needs to shoot up this citizen cav real fast and then turn his attention over here. He's gonna just retreat it though, keep it alive. The slingers are mostly alive. I mean, 50, 40, and 70, so he's about half his slingers alive, and they have probably well less than half their ammo at this point. And so it's definitely possible to win here if he can kill the cav and get his companions into these blobs. Like, if he gets his Iberians and defend here and then just charges in with his companions. These guys out of ammo? No, but they're just gonna die here. So this is bad. I wonder if he didn't realize that guy was there, because it'll easily win this fight. And now Bobi's infantry and slight cav reserves are going to be enough here to take this probably. His companions are now tired, and getting these frontal shots is just not ideal, and he's losing the rest of his slingers, so he's going to be in big trouble. I think Sofado was just like too hasty to engage maybe. He should have just kept kiting back and shooting with the slingers, because Bobi's attacks were not coordinated. Like, if you keep kiting, the attack can become less and less coordinated, and you saw the thorax swords push forward way before the pikes were in support, and that's how that other companion cav got a nice charge in and absolutely wrecked him. So imagine if he was able to do that, really hurt those thorax swords. Then you would just have to deal with the pikes, but you can just keep fighting. The cav force for Bobi was not good. It was very bad, and that was like, I mean, he had the peltis, and he had a little bit of supporting infantry, but if you were able to keep kiting, keep shooting at the pikes, so that your infantry can just win against the thorax sword straight up, and all of a sudden you have a very superior position to fight with. Now his cavalry is getting like outmaneuvered here, and with 3 against 2, because like this companion is just not doing anything. The more it runs around, it's gonna get really tired. Citizen cav, okay, it might win here, probably will. But these light hordes are just way better in this situation. Companions got a nice charge, but they're not enough. They really need to be protecting the slingers. I think in general, like, the slingers didn't have enough time to do their damage on the battle. There's no long-range skirmishers and a worse cav that rely on like close-range support from infantry and peltis. I feel like you need to just get around the flank, get around surround, give companions. You can't really just push forward. I mean, you can, but what are you gonna do? You just run backwards. And if he gets too ahead of himself, like the thorax swords get isolated, then you just charge them, and they're gonna die. And you get the slingers out to the flanks, and they get better shots. And don't engage until, like, the slingers have done massive damage. And you can see these companions are very good, but now they're just so tired they can't really affect the battle. The general's bodyguards over here, like, he definitely needs to second win the companions. And then he'll have a chance. Like, he's actually clawing it back slowly. But these companions are, like, at half strength now, so it's almost impossible, depending on how much ammo his slingers have, but the general's at full strength. Literally didn't lose a single man, because he was just helping a cav fight over here. He was helping this cav fight, and just, like, killed a bunch of cav for free. Because, like, well, I don't understand. Like, if the slinger, or if the cav for Sofado engages it, they're always gonna lose without any infantry support. I'm also surprised that, like, the late Libyans were left in these engagements. Like, that was kind of not ideal, because they could have been helping the flank cavalry fight, and they have 30 bonus versus large, so that would be nice. But also, like, they could just be... He really doesn't need to second win this companion cav. They're kind of useless. You know? Like, yeah, they'll have good charging. Oh, we didn't even realize this is thorax sword. But like, these companion cav, like, when they made this like really big flank maneuver, it's out of the battle for too long. If they were like 5 seconds sooner, they would have broken like 3 infantry engagements, because they would have just been able to do so. I don't know, like, would have been able to just get those rear charges, because the infantry for Sofado was still alive. But once they started to lose really fast, especially in the center where the hot blades were, it was not possible. I mean, the hot blades were just not... We're gonna kill probably this cav off. Actually, like, kill 4 men. 2, actually. So, Sofado missed defeat. Bobi will win the match. Quite a good match, actually. You can see the companions did well, but the slingers just needed more time to get their kills, I feel like. Thorax swords did quite well, except for these 2, and you can see the thorax swords aren't a great unit in this matchup. But they were given their opportunities with the support of these pikes, and 3 pikes getting over 100 kills is kind of ridiculous. It should never happen, I don't think. And you can see like 6 and 21 kills for the pikes that got focused down by the Iberian swords and the Blurk slingers. but he had so much ammo, he could have just kept doing that for the entire battle. The cav for Bobi wasn't that good, but the cav for Sofado wasn't either, and like 28 kills for a companion cav is like not good enough, obviously. And these light horse were a nuisance throughout the game. General did fine, I mean, was full strength, so he was just chilling. And the Peltas did good, I mean, they were getting nice shots. Is pretty much all you have to say there. They were getting the right shots on the flanks of units and stuff, and helping out the cav fight, so they did good. And then the late Libyans just were kind of worthless. I mean, they did good blocking some charges and stuff, but then I don't know why they were kept in the fight when they're obviously not going to get kills there. If they had flanked around, like I said, it would have been maybe a little better. Iberian swords were actually a good choice. Like I said though, if you just change these late Carthaginians, I mean, one did really well somehow, but it was the one that broke through that thorax sword and flanked around the pikes. Like I said, if you had exchanged like 2 of these guys for 2 Libyans, Libyan infantry, or like a Samnite and a Libyan, then kept 2 Iberian swords, and just had like 1 hoplite and 2 light Libyans or something like that, it would have been actually. Let's go see. Actually, that's actually possible. Let's see. So if he went with like General, 2 Iberians, 3 Samnites, something like this, and then he went for the same thing with the 3 Balearics. I actually liked his cavalry component a lot, because actually, unless they bring noble horse, but if they do, you're gonna have Iberians and stuff to deal with them. So this is pretty much the same core army, except for more infantry. Bringing your max 6im, and then we can bring still. Okay, well, we're a little short. Let's see, but something like this. Anyway, I think that would have been a lot better, or even like something like that. Well, this is probably what I would bring, because then you're gonna have a lot more infantry, and you're gonna be able to flank around a lot more. The late Carthaginians are kind of worthless. If you have 6 melee infantry, then you're gonna do a lot better. Anyway, good game to both players. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.